The unseen frequency of wealth. There is an order beneath every fortune ever built, and that order begins within the mind. The world believes that riches obey labor, yet labor is only the visible shadow of unseen command. Money, opportunity, and cooperation all move toward one invisible signal, the silent tone of belief broadcast from within a man's heart. I call this the wealth signal. It is not spoken with lips nor written with ink, yet it is heard by every circumstance of life. The mind sends it daily, and the world answers it with precision. When the signal is clear, opportunity approaches. When it is distorted by fear, apology, or doubt, fortune turns away, though the effort may appear sincere. Effort without inner certainty becomes noise. The world does not respond to motion for motion's sake. It answers only to purpose fixed and belief sustained. Many men work with great exertion, yet remain poor, because they have not yet learned that labor cannot conceal inner uncertainty. The tone of thought behind effort determines its yield. There is a vast difference between the noise of ambition and the clarity of command. Ambition shouts with tension. Command speaks quietly with conviction. One begs, the other expects. Money retreats from the beggar and approaches the commander because the commander carries faith instead of need. Need repels what it seeks. The subconscious mind is the great transmitter of this signal. It does not speak in words, but in tone. It interprets every thought, emotion, and repetition as instruction. What is sent inward is broadcast outward. When fear dominates thought, that fear becomes message. When gratitude and certainty dominate, that too becomes message, and wealth answers. Money obeys the law of vibration. All thought is vibration. Faith produces one frequency, fear another. To the ear they are silent, but to law they are thunder. Life arranges itself around the prevailing vibration. This is why identical effort produces different results in different men. The difference lies not in work, but in wavelength. Apology disguised as humility weakens the financial magnet. The man who half believes he deserves prosperity speaks softly when he should command. He lowers his tone in the presence of success, afraid of appearing proud. But law interprets humility of this sort as confession of unworthiness. You cannot attract what you secretly fear to claim. Observe Andrew Carnegie in his youth. Before he possessed a fortune, he walked as though entrusted with one. His bearing carried expectancy, not arrogance. Others mistook it for pride, but it was simply certainty, broadcast ahead of evidence. The world received his tone and conspired to prove him right. Expectation preceded empire. Thomas Edison, after failure upon failure, remained composed. His mind vibrated with completion long before light burned within his laboratory. The frequency of belief sustained itself through fatigue and ridicule. Where another man's signal would have broken into doubt, his remained steady until matter itself adjusted to match his certainty. F.W. Woolworth, with no credit and little capital, borrowed belief instead of money. He believed so firmly in his idea that others lent him trust before lending him cash. Trust is currency. His conviction became collateral. The signal of confidence drew cooperation until material wealth followed spiritual wealth. The man who begins correcting his signal is immediately noticed. He speaks slower and with calm conviction. He moves deliberately instead of hurriedly. He no longer explains ambition. He assumes accomplishment. Those still ruled by uncertainty find his composure unsettling. They sense authority without aggression, and that silent authority begins to attract both respect and reward. Gratitude strengthens the signal because gratitude is the tone of possession. To be grateful is to affirm receipt before visible evidence. The man who thanks life for prosperity before it arrives places himself upon the same frequency as its arrival. Ingratitude or constant complaint keeps the signal tuned to lack.